Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I'm just going to do a little project for you. It's a craft along with me, and it's going to be using the paper, which is the free digital. So if you're a member of my happiness and crafting group, you can print this off. It's in the files where they say files, and there's two there that you can print off. I've got my tags and I've got this sheet. So please join. If you haven't, please come and join. I'll put the link below the video. So I've already cut this in half, ready to use. But I'm going to make these little booklets, and they're really easy. So if you're a beginner, this is a really lovely way to start. So it's just got a little flip, but it's also using my little words and phrases as well. And it's just a little booklet with all sorts of, this is all your leftover and scrap bits of paper you can pop in there as well. So it's just the one piece here, so that's the bottom piece like that. So you can make two out of one sheet of paper, which is lovely, and they're really simple to make. And it just got a little flip clasp like that, and I've just sewn in the signature there. So they're really sweet, and very simple to make. So there we go, and it's just got lots of scrap bits, so you can use up some of your scraps as well. So I'm going to show you how you do that. So what you need is the piece of paper, the digital printout. You want one piece of backing paper, so I'm going to use coffee stain paper, but you can use whatever you like. So you can even print off another piece of this and use it on the back, or actually you could probably stick those together and use them as well and fold it so you've got it on the inside. Actually that would look quite nice, wouldn't it? So yes, you can make that. So I'm going to just make one like this. So you need half a sheet, so cut it lengthways, one piece of that, and then you want one of your, I've got my little box of all sorts of bits and pieces in here, and this has got all the little words and phrases in here. This is grow through what you go through. Shall we have that one? Or shall we have, it's the little things in life. What is coming is better than what is gone. Well, I hope that's true. And this time of where we are, let's have a look. Life is so much better when you're laughing. And love yourself and the rest will follow. That's a nice one, isn't it? Shall we use that one? So that's going to go on the front. And then I've got a little bit of cheesecloth. And let's have a look. What have we got in my little pile? It's a tiny bit of lace. Look at this great big box of all sorts of bits and pieces in here. This is just one of my boxes. I have many, full of all sorts of things. So I just go diving in here when I want little bits and pieces to embellish. So I'm going to use these bits. Oh, that's quite nice as well, isn't it? So let's just have a few. So that's for the outside bit. Okay, so let's just start. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick this onto this piece of paper. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can use it like this. I've actually printed this piece off onto 160 gram paper, and so it's got quite a nice weight to it. But I always do like to sort of like back the pages, the papers. I think it gives them a really nice finished look. So if you're a beginner, this is quite a nice way to make your embellishments and your little pockets and things that you're making look a little bit nicer, I think, and a bit more finished. So that just pops in there. Oh, and also I've also used one of my little flower embellishments on there, which I seem to use on everything at the moment. Right, so I'm going to just stick this on. Let's just a bit of glue stick or whatever glue you would like to use. But glue stick is quite nice because it's got sort of like a dry glue, so you don't have to wait for it to dry, because it's sort of like sometimes the Mod Podge and stuff, you have to wait a little while for it to dry because it makes your papers a bit wet. So it's got some glue there, so let's stick it on top of that bit of glue. Okay, try and get it as neat as you can. I'm going to sew around the edges, but again, if you don't have a sewing machine, you don't have to. But I do like the finish of sewing. So let's pop that on there like that. Make sure we've got that stuck down nicely. You can use any pattern. You can use some pattern paper, or if you've got any leftover digital papers that you've been using, you can back it with one of those as well. Or like I said, you don't have to back it with anything. You use a thicker piece of paper. I'll just cut this out like this. Make it nice and neat and tidy. Snap it along. Okay, perfect. So that can go. That's can go for the other piece. So that's all on there nicely. So what I'm going to do now, before I actually fold it, I'm going to sew all the way around the edge. So I'm going to be back 2 seconds. Okay, there we go. Now let's just snip this little bit of cotton off here. So the reason I like to sew it before I bend it into the little booklet, is because when you stick it on the back, when you bend it, they tend to come apart here. It sort of like moves a bit of glue in there. They move, so it come away from the edges. So when you sew around the edge, it actually keeps the paper in place. So that's why I like to do it first. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ink. I've got a little bit of ink on here, and I just like to colour the cotton because I only use white cotton or a very, very pale cotton, and I always sort of ink it. So I think it looks sort of nice. It sort of like makes it a bit more vintage. Something you don't have to do. If you like the white cotton, then you can just leave it. Or lots of people I know sew stitch with black cotton, which I don't really have any. I'm not a fan yet of black cotton, but I'm sure there will be a time when I will be using it. So what we need to do is just move that sort of about that far. Just what I mean, just eyeball it. So this whole piece, let me measure it for you so you know. It is the length of the paper, so, or just a fraction smaller, isn't it? So that's going to be 11 inches by 4 inches. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sort of like bend it in, say this much. So that's going to be 4 2/8 of an inch. Okay, so I'm just going to fold that down there, and I'm just going to bend that in. Not so it goes right to the edge of this, just sort of like half an inch away, like that. So then we can sort of like bend that one. That's just 2 1/8. I mean, 2 inches and 1/8. So that goes on there like that. Okay. So very easy so far. Now what we need to do is we're going to make the little closure. So I'm going to put that on there like that. So I think that looks really nice. You don't want to quite go halfway, sort of like this one. It's almost sort of 2/3, isn't it? Not quite halfway. You know, you want to do it so this moves in and out quite easily. Right, so I'm going to just add a little bit of cheesecloth to the outside, or just under the little phrase there. And then we'll have a little bit of lacy ribbon there. I think we just use those 2 pieces. And what I did, I actually glued it to this, which I found a little bit easier. So just use whatever glue you've got. Pop a little bit of this, let's ruffle it up a little bit, like that. Oops, wrong piece. This one's got to go on first so that we can see it. And then this one can go over the top. Like that, that's it. I'm going to cut this little bit of lace down, just a little bit. There we go. So that goes like that. That's stuck on there nicely. And then that sticks on there. So we just stick this side down here. Perfect. Right. What I'm going to do now, I've made up these little bits and pieces here. to go inside. We'll pop that on in a minute. So they are just, this is from my butterfly collection papers, and these are just old scraps that I've got, bits of tea stain paper in here, a little bit. So I've just got them out of my scrap box, and I've got cotton, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 8 pieces there. Okay, so you can put as many as you like in. So that just fits in there like that. You can add, if you wanted to add a couple of pockets to here, you can, to the back and the front, but I thought I'd just leave these as simple, because I thought if we've got some beginners in here, it's really nice not to complicate it too much. And these are quite quick and easy to make. So what I'm going to do, we'll just pop that in there, and I'm going to sew it in. So I'm going to show you how I sew them in. So let's get our needle and thread ready first. So I've got a nice big needle. I'm just going to use some cotton thread. I don't need the wax one. So I measure it 3 times. So it's 3 lengths of your little book, just to be on the safe side. So I'll pop that in there. Close that up, get my little book out. So we can make the holes. Oops. Thread the needle. See daisy, there we go. And then what we need to do is find the middle, like that. Make sure everything's in there. Pop that in the little dip there. Get my little tool and make 3 little holes. One, I normally start 1 in the middle, and then 1 either side, like that. So you want to have your shortest piece of paper in the middle, so you know you're going to catch it to sew it in. So that was easy peasy. So then, if you wanted on these ones, I've got them so the threads hang on the outside. But you can have them with the threads hanging on the inside. So I'll do this one for the inside. So you want to start with your needle in. So the first bit is hanging on the inside. But if you wanted them on the outside, start from the outside. And I'm going to do it so it's on the inside on this one. So you go through the middle, up through the top one, or back into the top one. And then you go right the way down to the bottom one. And then you want to go back and then through the middle. Oops. Like that. So that comes out through the middle. Like that. And then what we want to do, you want to make sure either thread is 1 on each side. So then you want to tie a knot. Oops, if I can, with fingers and thumbs. Just tie a couple of little knots on there to hold it, and then you could just cut these off, or you can make them whichever length you like. Sometimes you can just have them dangling down with little beads or something on it. This one I've actually added 2 tiny little paper hearts on there, which are quite sweet. It was a bit fiddly to do, that's why I didn't do them on this one. Okay, so that's the middle. Okay, I've got it upside down, so that goes on like that. So when you're sewing them in, make sure your papers are up the right way. If you've got a pattern on it. If they're just plain, then it doesn't really matter. Just put this back on here. Okay, perfect. So that's all done. So that's quite simple, isn't it? So then all we've got to do now is stick our little tag on the front, our closure. And all as we do with that is use a bit of, I'm just using my 3-in-1 glue. So we just pop it. So what we need to do, pop it there. So I don't want glue going any further than that. So just sort of eyeball it a little bit. Pop a little bit down there. And then we just stick that on about there. hold it down for a little minute. It's a little bit squidging out the top, just wipe those off. There's a little bit too much glue on there, but never mind. Squidge it down. Just get a little bit of tissue and wipe that off. There we are. So that's stuck down nicely. Just give a little bit to dry, and then that just opens up like that, and then you've got your little book. So that's one little idea for you. On my Facebook group, you've come up with some lovely ideas, really good. So please do, if you're not a member of the group, please go and join, because you are all absolutely adding some beautiful stuff, and it is really lovely, and I absolutely love it. So thank you so much. So there we go, guys, that's quick and easy. So now we have 3. Oh, I didn't put a little flower on. Okay, now I've also had lots of questions of where I get my little flower trim from. Now I got this one from AliExpress. All the other ones that I've got here, I've got them in here. These ones and that I was gifted. So, and these. So I do believe they come from AliExpress because they're exactly the same. So do go and have a little look through there while you've got time to have a little shop. So have a look and see if you can order anything. It does take an awful long time to arrive, and whether they're going to send it this time, I don't know. I'm not sure how the post is wherever you are, but at the moment I'm not sending anything out, nothing at all. I haven't sent anything from a while from my Etsy shop, because I don't want to send anything in the post at all. At the moment I shall wait until everything is hopefully sorted out and cleared up and everybody's well. So I'm not sure how long that's going to be, but as long as we've got everybody safe at home, I think that's the best place where we can be. So safe at home and lots of crafting, and as long as we've got all our groups, we can have a little chat. So if anybody's out there on their own, we are always there for you, which is nice. There's always somebody to talk to. So there we go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Quick little flip book. Well, not flip book, but a flip open book. So that's really nice. I've got a couple of, another little one that I want to show you as well. So I'll do that in another video. Alright guys, thank you for joining me. Take care. If you haven't joined the group, please do. I'll pop the link below, and please share all your makes that you do from my digital kits to ideas you get from my videos. Alright guys, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.